Hi, Sean. Let me know when you can hear me. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button. Sorry.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. I'm doing good. So what would you say is your main goal for today? What do you think?
I've been a bit of a bad monkey this week. Um, I will say though a work trip did attribute to that.
Oh,
So,
sure. Okay.
um, sadly I was gone from like Tuesday through Friday.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you
So,
didn't get to practice a whole lot then.
no,
That's
I'm like,
okay.
I've been a bad monkey.
Oh, that's all right. So why don't we go ahead and start with our scale then?
Okay.
We're on seven flats, right?
Yes.
Great. Awesome. And we're doing natural minor. Let's go ahead and start with that.
What are we thinking, two or three?
Um, let's do the two octaves because I want to try to
Oh, all
do the harmonic and melodic today as well.
right. I think it's a little quiet for some reason. Don't know why. It's just like, why does it sound so quiet? All right. And then we had the harmonic that's raising the sixth. Okay. That's the one I was.
So, yeah, so for harmonic, you're going to raise just the seventh from the
That
natural.
one.
Yeah,
It's
so just the seventh, both up and down.
okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. One more time.
Okay.
Okay. Up there. It's running through the fingering on that one's a little weird. Like I lose it, but itchy. So two, three, one, two, three, one, two, three, four, one, two, three, one, two, three. It's three, two, one, three, two, one, four. I feel like I did that wrong there. Yeah, I did. So step at back at the C flat. That's one, three, two, one, two, or one, three, two, one, three, two. It's the decline that feels weird.
let's go ahead and just work on that decline again. And I want you to try, let's do like 4 octaves in a row. So just like, so you can just keep repeating, 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 just doing that descending.
Okay. So yeah, dagnabbit. So a midway, like I got the notes, but not the fingers.
Yeah,
Mm, mm, mm. It's right here that I lose the finger placement. So off of C flat, usually on a natural minor, it would be so from the 1, 3, or 4, 3, 2, 1. So going from here, it's 4, 2, 1. And I think that's where I lose it.
yeah. So let's just work a few notes before that moment and a few notes after. So you just drill that little moment that's catching you. And you
Okay.
just got to persevere through it. Don't let it stop you because then you're training your brain to stop. And we have to train our brain to go through the sticky moment.
Got
Okay. So just drill that. Let's do it like 10 times.
All right. Three, 1, 2, 4, 3, 4, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 2, 2, 2, 3. Almost went natural there. Okay. I think I've got it. I think.
Great. Awesome. We're going to do the whole descending 4 octaves again.
Okay. Yeah. I had to think about that there for a minute. I'm like, wait a minute. Nope, nope.
That's okay. All right. Let's do it one more time, okay?
Ooh. Yeah. How did I end up here? I can have it. Definitely gonna drill this one a bit this week. Good Lord.
I think that's a great idea.
How did I end up there? I find that okay. Yeah, it was just a bad finger placement, and I would end up at that G natural on my thumb, and then like the brain freaks out, like shit, I don't know where to go from here. And it's like I can just like reach over and try to recover, but it's like
Yep,
no,
that's what you need to do. You need to persevere through it.
I
All
I
right.
I attempt to, and then I
You can
get
also
really
backtrack a little bit and then self-correct and keep going. We need to persevere through it.
okay.
All right, let's try it again.
Excuse me. Okay. Feel like I'm getting there. It's bad finger placement. That's what it ends up being.
Yeah.
Like I even like on the B flats, I'm even on my forefinger, and I find myself going instead of instead of what it should be 4, 3, 2, 1. I find myself doing 4, 3, 1, and then it's like ah crap, and then it's like let's reach over to move the thumb to back to where it's supposed to be,
Hmm.
and that's where I keep tripping myself up on it.
Yeah. So we know what the issue is, and that's what something you're going to need to drill and really focus on this week. So let's go ahead and we're just going to stop there with the skill for this week.
Okay.
Because you know what you need to work on and what you need to drill to correct that. And it's just going to be, building a new muscular habit through there. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead now and let's go ahead and do the 4 octave arpeggio on the one chord.
All right. This one's a doozy. Nope. All right, come on now. Ah. Oh, I'm struggling so bad this day today.
That's okay.
I
That's all right. No, we
I
just
doesn't
know we have to work on it.
doesn't feel all right. I can tell you that. All right.
Okay, so let's go ahead now. Let's play the 1, 4, and 5 chords. And remember that we turn the 5 chord into a major.
Okay. Ooh, why am I? Ooh, why am I struggling so bad with this? Wow, what is with me today? There it is. Because my hand's not in the right spot. That usually helps. So, one, 4 is, and the 5 is, there it is. So, um, no, 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 no. There it is. That's 5. Okay. 1, 4, 5. Oof,
All
got that.
right, nice. Okay, so let's go ahead now and let's take a look at our exercise in the technique book.
Okay. The Hannon or the left hand exercise?
Let's go ahead and do the left hand. That's the one I was thinking about.
Okay. Alrighty. And then it's
Okay, nice. All right, so
getting there with that
how you
one.
feel about it?
I I feel like it's getting there. The the dismount off of the incline to the decline is still a little like I gotta remember, oh yeah, I gotta go I gotta go to that octave
Yep. Mm-hmm.
because you know, it ends that and then it's and then so it's like it's kind of a weird octave after an octave kind of a thing.
Yeah.
See,
Mm-hmm. So again, here we need to work more on that descending part, right?
it's more just like making sure that I include it as it's written.
Yeah.
You know, the it starts at middle C,
Mm-hmm.
and then including that C in there, but remembering that the start of the decline also goes. So it's like it's hitting C3 twice basically,
Yeah.
and it's remembering that,
Mm-hmm.
especially like I don't know if you can. I'm pretty sure you can't tell. I can get the I can that pattern's pretty well ingrained,
Yeah.
but it's remembering the
Mhm.
it's remembering double C3s.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The incline ends at C3 on an eighth note,
Right.
and then it starts the decline on that C3 as well. So I
Mm.
can't play it once and then just go into the other like in some of the Hanon exercises it kind of uses that last note to springboard into the next, but
Yeah.
you're not hitting it twice.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it's just remembering double C3s.
Yes, but it is actually improving. So that's positive. That's great because this one was really tough at the beginning.
Yeah,
So I'm very happy to hear that.
I just
Um, so you know what to work on with this one. Let's
yes.
go ahead and we're going to move on to our Hanon exercise. We're on number 6.
Uh yes.
Okay, great. Awesome. So let's go ahead and try that one.
And if I can find
And on
it.
this one, it's more the descending as well, right?
It's the it's not so
Is it the
much
transition?
Yes, it's the
The
transition.
turnaround. So
Yes.
yeah, so let's go ahead and let's do that changing directions moment. And let's
Okay.
do that moment 5 times before we try the whole thing.
Okay. So, stop. Everything just stop. Here goes back a little. So it starts at technically be here. Am I? No. Yeah, middle B. So, it- and this is where I always forget. I forget that C
Right.
almost every time because then it goes back to,
Can we say the notes out loud as you play it?
uh-huh,
Just
absolutely.
to kind of reinforce it in another way. You'll be hearing the notes out loud. You're thinking, like, what is the name of each note as you go? So it's just kind of reinforcing with another component.
Sorry. All
You're good.
right.
So when you yawn, you send extra oxygen to your brain. The blood flow, it's going to expand, and then you get faster oxygen through to your brain. So it means that you need extra oxygen to your cells. So it's probably just because you're thinking hard about something. So I think
Yeah.
it's always actually a good thing when you yawn because it means your brain is saying, "Hey, I need a little extra boost right now."
I just joke that I'm showing off the tens of thousands of dollars of dental work.
Oh!
I've had a lot of work done.
I had to get some extra done this year too.
Uh,
I have like genetic blood sugar issues, and then they said that that is causing a little bone loss. So yeah, it's not fun. I also had headgear growing up, and also had braces. So all through middle school, had
I
to
was
sleep in headgear.
I was literally told, and I really wish I was kidding, at like 10 years old, um, I I was kind of a latchkey kid, so like
Oh
I'd take care
yeah,
of myself. I didn't develop a lot of habits early like a lot of people did. So like
yeah.
brushing my teeth wasn't a thing.
Oh
Um,
no.
so I was literally told at 10 year to like somewhere between 10 and 12 that yeah, he probably needs braces. Be a total
Oh.
be a total waste of money.
Oh no.
I'm like, cool.
Oh.
Adults are mean.
They can be pretty harsh, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
it was
my
really
dentist
fun.
before the one I have now was like really mean to me about my teeth. And I was like, I can't help that I grind my teeth in my sleep. I don't know I'm doing it. And then my dentist now was like, you're actually taking really good care of your teeth. And it's like other factors that are causing these issues. So
Yeah,
I was like, thank you for acknowledging that. I work really hard on them.
I have mixed moments with my dentist. I'm more scared of his hygienist.
Oh, really?
Oh, she's a nice lady, but like I don't know, she definitely has that like mom vibe down where it's
Oh.
just like you haven't been brushing your teeth as much, have you?
Scolding you. That's funny.
No, sorry, Miss Bridget.
Oh, that's
Like,
kind of sweet though. Because it sounds like you needed more of that when you were
yeah,
younger. So now you get it
I,
now.
yeah. But yeah, like it was never an enjoyable experience.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead. We're going to try that turnaround a few more times. And you're going to say the
Okay.
notes out loud.
All right, so it's B G F G E G D C. That's where I screw it up right there
Yeah.
because what I'll do is B G F G, D, or excuse me, E, G, D, G, C.
Yeah.
And that's not how it's written.
Right.
It one of those like I have a love-hate relationship with the hand-in exercises because you get a pattern in and it like the pattern itself gets locked in, and then it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I got the pattern and in the spans, and now I don't really need to pay attention to the sheet music, and like, no,
Right.
no, I do.
At least for that part particularly, I so often have had things basically memorized, but there'll just be like a couple moments that I'm like, I just want it sitting there just to make me feel better, and I can just kind of remind myself and have those visual cues.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because this one
totally makes sense.
I even had to put in a note like, don't go to the next, like, don't, it says does not go to C, because this is like the first one that it doesn't take you up to C4 in the left hand
Yeah.
and then start going backward.
Yeah, yeah.
This one ends this incline
Hmm.
at B.
Right. Yeah. So let's do that turnaround just a couple more times, then we're gonna do the entire thing.
Okay. That's the tricky part right there. So B, G, T, D, C. Yep. Yep. Well, what did you do? Oh. Hmm. All right. I think I've got it down enough that I can pick up the pace on it, and I feel okay with it. Um. So let's give it the old community college try. There it is. Yeah. Oops. I had the transition down this time and everything.
That's okay. That's all right. So I want you to try. Let's take it slightly slower than you think that you want to take it. And I want you to set a metronome, and we're just going to do it at a steady tick and try to stay right with the metronome. All right. And you're going to see where you're not quite with it. And that's going to give you insight into the spots that are a little sticky.
Oh, it was complete like it didn't even feel like a rhythm thing. It was just a stupid finger thing.
That's okay.
Like,
I still think it's going to be good for us
oh yeah.
because we want to have like an internal steady ticking and feel that rhythm, really clearly. So I just want to see if we can get it super steady. So take it a little bit slower than you think that you want to go, and let's go ahead and try that with the metronome once. So you want to think of the hardest part of the song for you and how fast you can take that spot and then try to set the metronome about that speed.
Damn you bastard. Okay. So maybe a little faster than 50.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe like 55 or 60.
Yeah, I'm thinking 55.
Okay, let's try it.
Right there.
All right, persevere through it.
Ah,
All right, reflections.
I think 55 is still a little too slow.
That's okay. Now you know that. So you're going to try 60 next time when you practice this
And
week, yeah? So
yeah.
I want to challenge you to practice this one with the metronome pretty
Okay.
regularly this week. All
Okay.
right, just to keep a super steady rhythm. And let's go ahead and move on to our Bach piece.
Alrighty. Space
So
swapping.
just kind of reflecting on this one, what would you say is maybe the thing that's the most challenging about it?
Left hand.
Left hand. So let's go ahead and try just the left hand alone first.
Okay. I swear, I need like one of those stretcher bars things really bad. Okay. Let's- Yeah. That. So coming off of and that right, this right here is the biggest challenge for me.
Yeah.
Is
So can we mark that in your music so that you
yeah.
have like a visual that that's coming up? And is there any kind of note that would be helpful there to make for yourself or like a symbol that's going to help remind you?
It's I have it marked mainly
Okay,
because
good.
it's a part that I struggle with because aside from the tone that just ugh, I hate it. The D sharp B like ugh
Yeah, you just don't like it.
no.
So your brain is like, ew, we
Because
don't like this.
it's that D sharp. It says no.
Grates on you.
Yes, but it's not even once I've just gotten past that, it's E B E and then it has me go and this is where it gets wonky because I'm going from octave E back octave up. It has me doing EGB
Yeah,
in
the leaps. Yeah.
yeah, so it's the hand twist. It's
Okay. Yeah. So I want you to do an exercise. You're just going to like rotate the wrist a little bit as you jump and like rotate as you go back and forth. All right, so let's try some of those leaps with a little bit of
Mhm.
that rotation.
Okay. So, okay. Okay, so I guess that's okay. Because it calls out in the book, 1, 2, 5,
Mm-hmm.
and then 1, 2, 1,
Mm-hmm.
and not thinking about it at all. I was pretty much on the ball except for one note.
Yeah.
So,
When you're crossing, try to keep your wrist more level with the like thumb under and stuff, like when you're doing crossing. Try to keep your wrist more level.
so, so E G B or E B E,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would E, and then I'd have G on 3, which really doesn't affect anything. It's just when I don't think about it, that's where my brain goes.
Okay.
And from what I can tell from the next measure, doesn't really hurt anything because I'm still landing B on 1 to where I have to go 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
But the fun slash weird thing is it's got me ending. So it's got, and this is just more drilling the finger placement into my head. It's got nothing for B, 3 on the D sharp, nothing for F, so I go 2, nothing for B, go to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then I walk it back down the same, but it calls out, in my case, it would be from the B. So 1, 2, here it calls out 4 for the D sharp
Yeah.
because
So
of
do
the
you feel
trend.
like you need to change any of that?
I need to drill in the 4.
Got it. Okay.
That's
Yeah, because it's just not
because
instinctive for you at this point.
it's not. In
Yeah.
fact, realistically, in the left hand in particular, I kind of avoid using the forefinger almost
Oh,
always.
yeah, we don't want to do
Yeah,
that.
like
So let's do an exercise.
okay,
I'm gonna have you. All right, so let's just take like C to F to C to F, and you're just gonna cross over, and you're just gonna go up and down 4 octaves with C to F to C to F to C to F, and you're gonna be crossing and reaching over
okay. So C to F.
on 4 and 1.
Ah, 4 and 1. Okay. Ooh, how am I managing that one?
Just 4 and 1 the entire time, all the way up, and then we're gonna also work back down.
I don't know if my finger. I don't know if my body bends like that.
Okay, well, we don't have to necessarily like be still, like it doesn't even necessarily have to be legato. I just want you to get there. So,
Okay.
like, even if you have to let go, so you go like 4 to 1 and you have to let go, that's okay. 4 to 1. Like, if you have to kind of hop a little bit, that's okay.
Okay, so I apologize. I was getting my fingers mixed up. It's
That's okay.
pinky's one
Your
on
pinky
left.
is 5, your
Okay,
ring finger is 4, your thumb is
okay,
1.
so
So
I
it's ring finger, thumb, ring finger, thumb, ring finger, thumb, all the way up.
the ring finger doesn't get used on the left hand if I can help it for some reason. Oop, nope, too far. Oop, not far enough. Yeah, like I use it in clearly I use it like the hand-in exercise. It would be freaking impossible. But like when I'm given the option,
You will
like
avoid it.
in a piece,
We
like
want to rework that
I
in your
don't
brain.
I wouldn't I wouldn't consciously use it. Let's put it that way, if that makes
Okay.
any sense.
It
Like
does. It's the it's our weakest finger. And also we tend to not like it as much because anatomically inside your hand, these three are connected. So this one moving independently is the most challenging
I watched a
because it's
YouTube
right in the
video
center
about
and
this.
it's all connected.
I watched a YouTube video about this. Isn't that like a
Mm.
study? There was a famous pianist that did like a physiological study of the hand.
Mm. Yep.
It wasn't Mozart. It was an M name. I cannot remember for the life of me.
Um,
Um, I know it wasn't Mozart though.
mm,
'Cause it was like, dare I say, modern era, like
um,
20 somewhere between the 20s and the 50s. But like, yeah, how like the tendons, like
yeah.
literally like on cadavers, like how the tendons like are are
I know Glenn
intertwined.
Gould is like a really famous modern day pianist who um like has a more unique like way that he sits and it impacts his wrist position and he's like one of the absolute best. He definitely has an awareness of hand mechanics. As far as like study I know that Chopin, Liszt, Rachmaninoff, they definitely know their own hands and how their
Yeah,
own hands move and how large they are. Um,
jackasses.
yeah, I can't think of
I'll have to
who
find
you're referring to, but
I'll have to find the YouTube video, and it's in my history somewhere.
yeah,
But yeah, it's like
I'm
this.
sure
It's like
like universities have studied that and,
it's a
incorporated that in academics and like how anatomy affects piano pedagogy and that kind of
it,
thing.
it's a good 25-minute video.
Okay, yeah, if you find it,
And
send it to me. I'd love to watch it.
I really liked it, and it was one of those like by the time I was done, I was like, oh damn, I just watched a 25-minute
It
like
just flew by. Yeah,
I watched a
that's awesome.
25-minute educational YouTube video. Like holy crap!
Very cool.
Like I don't typically do that.
Yeah, it sounds like it's pretty captivating. Yeah, if you find
It
that,
kind of is,
send it my way. Yeah, I'd love to watch it.
but yeah, like it's in that measure of the B. And I think one of the things that kicks my butt that like I need to drill on this measure because of it is it starts me off 5, 3, 2, 1, but then walks me back to 4. And that's where I see what they're doing for the follow. They're setting you up for that at 3, 2, 1. But it's again, it's one of those just making because I very much want to try to keep to the book as much as possible
Yeah.
without deviating. It gets more used to that finger, but again,
I
I have
do sometimes change fingerings. that's the editor's opinion of the best way to do it, but sometimes different individuals' hands move differently. Sometimes, though, I find I'm like, I can't figure out a different fingering for this. Like, this seems like the only way. So then I'm like, I have to conquer that coordination. Um, I also want you to try, so I want you to do that exercise of 4 to 1, 4 to 1, 4 to 1,
Okay.
all the way up 4 octaves, and then it'll be 1 to 4, 1 to 4, 1 to 4, all the way down. I also want you to try just like put your hand in a certain key and you're just going to practice lifting. You're going to lift the four and set it down on the key. Lift the
Um,
four, set it down on the key, and just practice that. And then you're going to practice pressing down that key, pressing down that key, just exercising just that left hand finger. And you can even try also like 4 to 2 to 4 to 2 to 4 to 2. And you can practice like 5 to 4, 5 4, 5 4, or 4 to 3, 4 to 3, 4 to 3. And just practicing some of those basic coordination things and just strengthening that left hand forefinger and getting it more independent.
so the fun slash tricky part about this is it's not necessarily a strength or skill issue. I literally like I can lay it flat and lift it
Yeah.
like no problem. I will sit in meetings at work and literally I found a coordination slash strengthening exercise that it's in playing position, so like the holding the apple position, and you lift 1 3 5, leave 2 and 4 down, and then swap them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good
So
exercise. Yeah.
I'll literally do that in a meeting at work.
Love it. Yeah.
Like
So
I'll
I'm going
just
to
sit there.
challenge you, stop avoiding the four. In fact, I would challenge you to try to start using it more often. For instance, with triads, instead of 1 3 5, you could try 1 2 4 instead.
Okay,
Yeah, so just
yeah,
challenge yourself to utilize it more often. Like when
yeah.
you're practicing with Cordify, try doing that 1 1 2 4 instead of the 1 3 5 on some of those
Yeah,
chords this
because
week.
like e- with with the chords, um, it really also kind of depends on the inversion. But
Yeah.
it even with the inversions, it's usually either I'm using 1 3 5 or 1 2 5,
Mm-hmm.
or some variation of that. Very seldom,
Yeah.
like all that's 1 1 2 5.
Yep.
Even when it switches to the A minor, one
Mm-hmm.
three five.
Right.
Like the four doesn't get involved very much unless it has to.
Mm-hmm.
It's never the conscious choice.
Sure.
And when in a piece left to my own devices, even like that legato phrase of the B, D sharp, F sharp, B, F sharp, D, even right there, I'm on my three, but the E calls for three. It's just an easy slide off. I can just slide off the black key, and it's like, does it work? Sure. Is it technically correct? Sure. Am I kind of like creating a problem by avoiding a problem? Absolutely.
I do think that it would be wise to challenge yourself to do as similar of a fingering as possible because there might be certain things that they're trying to teach you, but also as you get
Yeah.
faster, sometimes you'll find, oh, my fingering doesn't work when I go that fast.
Yeah. And that's where it's like, again, am I creating a problem by avoiding a problem kind of a thing?
Right.
Where it's like, I don't
Because
want
then you
to,
have to unlearn it and then relearn it and create a new
which
habit.
I always feel takes way more time than it did to actually learn the bad
It
habit.
does. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
All right, good. So I think we did really, really good work today. What would you say is the number one thing that you felt really good about that you were like, ooh, that's improved. That was better today?
The left hand exercise.
Nice. Yeah,
I
I
felt like I got a
agree.
little bit better with that.
Yeah, definitely. What would you say is the number one thing that you were like, okay, I'm improving in this, but I definitely still need to work on it?
The hand and exercise.
Cool. And
I
then,
think it's
yeah.
adding the metronome. I think is
Yeah.
where it's really going to kind of. I hate to say it this way because it seems a little extreme, but that's where it's going to make or break me.
Yeah. Love it. Okay, good. And then thinking ahead to the week, are there certain days or times that you can kind of plan and set for yourself and be like, I'm going to practice on this day in this time frame, like kind of thinking ahead, where do you think you'd be able to plan to practice?
I'm kind of cramming again this week because of another
Okay.
work trip
Yeah,
from Wednesday to Friday.
sure.
So unfortunately, I'm going to lose some time, but I try to block out around 7:30. Try to
Okay.
block out about 30 minutes
Love it.
each.
Yeah. So the days that you're home, 7:30 to 8, you're going to try to practice.
Yes.
And then like Saturday, you'll be able to practice, whenever it works
Saturdays
in the day.
Saturdays are weird because if I'm not with my girlfriend on those days,
Yeah.
usually it's like I'll peter for like 5 minutes and then go
Okay.
do something else and then come back and
Yeah.
peter for 5 minutes and
Yeah.
I end
And
up
then,
like
Sunday before we meet, you could practice a little bit then.
I I kind of already do.
Yeah, great. Awesome.
I
Okay, so
call it my
we
last minute
know
cram.
Monday and Tuesday, you're going to practice that half hour, 7:30 to 8.
Hmm.
Try to practice maybe like early Saturday before you see your girlfriend. Maybe that
Yeah.
would work. Or if like you see her Friday night to Saturday, practice that evening.
Yeah.
And then
And
try to do a little bit of practice Sunday before we meet. Yeah?
I've been also been looking into, I've seen it. I don't really know the validity or what the quality of it is, but there's like a collapsible keyboard.
Yeah, they have the ones that like fold up that you can
Yeah,
pack with you.
where it ends
Or
up
you can
being
do
like
like the unrolling ones. I don't like those
an
as
octave.
much. But yeah, the
Yeah.
ones that fold can be really nice.
I I I've heard I haven't heard anything about them and I'm like, okay, with the amount of traveling that I've picked up with work, I'm like
Yeah.
I
I
half
think
the
that would be
time,
a great investment to get one of the
yeah.
ones that fold up.
Yeah, if I can get that and like hell, I could probably take my pedal with me for God's sakes. Um,
Why not?
but I mean, it's
That's
actually
a great idea.
I will say it's it's the one that I think no, they upgraded me on this one when I got the setup because I was gonna get one of the box kits,
Oh,
but
okay,
like
yeah.
where it was like the keyboard and it had its own stand and everything, but
Yeah.
like the only one that they had available was like Smash to Hell, like
Oh man.
so like the
You could
facade
be
of the,
like, can I have a real good discount?
well that's what well they were like, and I'm like, look, if you've got it, I'll drop the money now. And they're like,
Ah, yeah.
well, we don't have it, but it was
Oh, yeah.
it was a guitar center, and they're like, I mean, realistically, we can essentially build the same thing. So I got like the
Oh,
piano,
sure.
I
Yeah,
got
because they
like
have other things you can build your own kit. Yeah.
yeah, so I got the
Nice.
piano and their like in-house brand stand and like shit.
Sure.
And I was like looking
That's
at
cool.
I was looking at an upgraded pedal because the one that came with this was just junky. It
Mm.
is like flimsy and had no weight to it. And he's
Yeah.
like, I mean, I can't throw in the nice pedal
Sure.
because like, it's like 50, $60. Like
Yeah.
he's like, but I have this other one that like I mean, we kind of recommend anyway when people get it, and
Sure.
it's still a Yamaha branded, so it works with the
Okay.
keyboard. So, but it's
Yeah.
got a little bit more like weight and spring to it,
Sure.
but it's still I think portable enough that
So you could take it with you. Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's not cheap, but it's not
Right.
if it
Yeah, and that's fine as long as it does the job.
yeah, it's not cheap, but it's not like if it, broke, I'd be like, "Oh crap, I'm out of shit."
Yeah.
So, and I mean it's moved 3 times with me, so I can't
Oh,
really can't
it's
really say
done
anything
good
bad about it.
then.
Yeah.
That's great. Sounds like it, ended up being a good fit. So yeah, like if it
Yeah.
breaks, you won't be
But
too upset. So I think, yeah, being able to
yeah.
travel with it, I think would be great. And then you can get more practice in. I love that.
But yeah, because like I like don't get me wrong, I like the GarageBand functions on like
Sure.
Apple products, but
Yeah.
it's kind of a pain in the ass. Like I have to take my iPad, and even then, there's like limitations because you can't fit all 88 keys onto a 10-inch screen and
Yeah.
in the butt. So
Mm.
I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll look into one of like those travel ones because like
Sure.
I've seen them where like either it's just like an octave wide and
Hmm.
there's several and they click together, or I've seen the ones where it literally just it has hinges and folds up to
Right.
like
Yeah.
the octave, like the octave size.
Yeah, I can like send you a couple links to some that I feel like, it's something like this would be great for travel. Like this one's broken. Some fold in half. This one is in quarters, so it would be even smaller. This one is at Guitar Center. I have a friend who travels all the time who's a theater person. And she has a foldable keyboard. She takes the one that like is in half and just packs like a bigger suitcase. So these two are ones that are in quarters, but they also have these ones that are fold in half. And they still
Yeah,
have this is the kind that she has is these ones that fold in half. And she loves it. And I mean, it's like a real piano. Like it has 88 keys, semi-weighted. Yeah, I feel like something like that
hmm.
would be amazing for travel. And it even has a little like carrying case.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. They used to have these roll-up ones. I'm not really a fan of them. This
I've
is an
seen them.
example of the roll-up ones. I mean, this one is better than the one I had a long time ago, I think, but it's just not for me.
Yeah, I've heard they're kind of junky.
Yeah, it's really
Like,
hard to practice with them. Like you have to hit right on top of the button and like they're not for me.
yeah, I haven't heard anything like because I thought about it at first, but then I was like, I
Yeah.
read a bunch of reviews and they're like
Yeah. I had
literally,
one and I hated it, so I just ended up like donating it to Goodwill or something.
yeah, they're like if you're gonna buy it, like
Hmm.
make sure you're buying it for a kid or something, like as a
Right. Or
toy.
like if let's say you're like a vocalist who just needs to like pick out a couple notes here and there, maybe. But like when you're trying to actually play, I need to like be able to feel the keys, and you can't
Yeah.
really, it's just like a rubber mat. So yeah, I
Yeah,
recommend something like these. I'm not saying like get these ones, like maybe do a little research, read some reviews.
well,
Like
that
I
one
like
that
to on
you
Amazon, like go look like what are the reviews and the rankings and
on
see like,
same
sort
way.
by average customer review and like go look at a few options. Try to
If
get the
it's
weighted keys and the hammer action,
okay,
and it'll feel more like a real piano
okay,
because the hammer action it'll like press down and then it pops back up with your
yeah,
finger. And then the weighted key, you feel like, oh, I'm actually pressing into it.
hmm,
So yeah, I would look for those two things with it. And
okay,
try to get like, I mean, try to get the 88 key if you can. But I think, sometimes you're okay with more like a 72 or like a 68 or something. Um,
okay,
but yeah, I personally would go for the 88 key and weighted and hammer action is what I would
okay,
look for. Yeah.
awesome.
Cool. Nice work today, Sean.
Thank y'all.
I'll plan to see you next Sunday, okay?
Yep. All
Unless
right.
something happens. All right. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Have a great week and safe travels for work.
Thank y'all.
Bye bye.